Hey everyone, it's great to see you at IC Arts. I am Irina, and in this video today we are making portfolio cover page. The portfolio I'm be making would be the A4 size, and that would be horizontal. I think that for the portfolio, we need to know like right away where things are going to happen. So I'm thinking somewhere here I will have a portfolio, and somewhere here I have the face of my character, and I want it to be a full color illustration, but that would be mostly hair. And somewhere here we could maybe have like the light source going that way, so this area will be lighter and can put my contact information, but that's just for now. I'm not sure that's going to happen. For the portfolio, I do not recommend you to have a very busy piece where a lot of things are going on, because that's just the cover page where we need to have some of our information, the portfolio title, so this way we don't overwhelm it. My idea was to go with a girl and lots of hair around her. I usually sketch in different layers, and it doesn't really need to be perfect at first. I usually draw my faces a little bit like angled in the end, and I know right away that this face is at the moment probably bigger than I want it to be, but maybe not. Also, I have never done that before, when you talk and draw at the same time. So there's of course an option in Procreate where you could mirror your canvas, and this way it will be easier probably for you, faster for sure, to draw the second part of the face, if that's what your goal is. I would say that like I'm gonna draw the line for the eyes. Usually I just reduce the opacity, and on a different layer I would draw the eyes. So I might copy and paste left and right so things are easier and faster. So I think I usually draw like large eyes, but I like this European style eyes very much. I think they look super cute. And so far, just like that. This is going to be the eye, so I might copy it right away on the other side. And every time you do this, I mean, right now I can see that my eyes are looking a little bit here, but that's okay. It's just a sketch. I just want to know where things are going to go. As for the nose, I think it would be like a tiny little nose right here. And the mouth, she's supposed to be definitely happy. We don't want something not happy to have on the portfolio page. So her mouth, her teeth would be showing, and then her eyebrows. Eyebrows is actually something that's going to show the emotions very, very well. Well, her ears, they could be small, they could be large. That's the time when you play around with your elements. I think my ears might be just like that. I'm not even sure they're going to show, since I have hair, right, all over the place. She's going to have like definitely some blush. And I love to always draw the eyelashes. Could be like this. Let's just copy and paste it so it looks even and faster. Usually when I'm working on books, and I do that a lot, and it doesn't mean I can't draw, it just means you also need to be efficient when you're doing something, and it's obviously that it's obvious that you could draw, right? But you also need to draw pretty fast. So now I see that things moved a little bit as far as the nose. You could draw things however you want, since it's a stylized version, but I still make sure that my ears are actually almost anatomically correct here for kids, I'd say, but you can put them lower. I wouldn't put them upper though, but lower is definitely an option. Now her mouth, as you can see, I put it a little bit on the side. Maybe I could even change an angle too to make it more playful. So that's the moment when we play. And since I have it, it's a kid, I don't have a lot of sort of face left, right here. This is it. This is the end for the face. Now I would need to work on the brows, and so I don't need that anymore. I might need that later. The brows definitely will add a lot of character to it, because if but she's smiling, right? But if I remove the mouth, let's say I can't remove the mouth, it's on We can remove the mouth, definitely, right? Where am I? I'm here. So I just can show you real fast. I'm gonna remove the mouth from here, right? So we have the eyes. We don't really know her emotion. She's happy, she's not. So, and then the eyebrows, if say the eyebrows gonna be like, she's gonna be angry, right? Right. So like that, she's angry. Obviously, it's very fast. She could be surprised, you know, like, oh my God, what happened? So basically, the eyes alone don't really show us the full picture. So she's happy, and I'm thinking of doing something. Probably I'm gonna give her like large eyebrows so we could show her happy emotion, something like that. So right now they're a bit misplaced, but that's okay. We can place them however we want, not however we want, but I mean a little higher, but definitely try to be anatomically correct. So basically from this side of the face to this side of the face supposed to be the same distance, which I right now see I don't. So I'll just move everything over to that side, just copy everything and have my things moved here, right? So right now I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out. The only thing now, well, I'm gonna add, so I'm gonna group everything. And I'm going to add the neck. I know there are characters when sometimes you just don't add the neck, but I always do. I wouldn't probably maybe add the neck if it was like a very, very tiny baby. But other than that, so that would be my neck. And I don't know, so maybe cute thing here. And I also tend to draw small bodies. So I wouldn't go this far. I might, but not for this one. And so I'm going to work on the body here. So first, can we go back? Hello. Let's do that. Also, the original idea for me was actually not having the body seen here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make her face bigger and her body at this point bigger too, but I will put it down. I won't really need as much of her body anyway. So let's do it like this. Since if you remember, my original plan was to have a portfolio written in here, so I think that's how I want it. Now, we don't want to have anything angled here. She's a kind character. We don't want that. So I'm going to work on her body here later on, since I don't know what's going to happen here. Maybe something will. Now, the main piece of the illustration would be her hair. Now, for the hair, let's remember, right? So that would be our head. And the hair, I mean, in this illustrations, the hair is going to be all over the place. But for your future illustrations, remember that there is the head and then there is the hairline where you're supposed to like have hair just here. And then if you want to do like some, you know, beautiful thing like this, don't forget that you're going to have here the hair and your hair will extend to here. So basically that's what I wanted to say. So I think at first I would give myself like a guide how the things would normally look like. I might put a little bit of curly things here. I think it's gonna work better with a kid. So let's see. Let's imagine she doesn't have curly hair at the moment and how the things would go from here. So we need to imagine this is real hair. You know, maybe I'm not gonna do the wavy at the moment. I don't know. I just know that this is something I need to think about, and I will. Because the hardest part is actually this part. Normally, I would realize that the hair would go So like this here, I like it. I actually do. Okay, I think here I am convinced that I like it. The rest of the places, let's see, nope. We need somehow to connect all the hair. And, well, not somehow, just connect it to each other, to the head. And I'm going to draw the hair on top of the ears, but I will erase them later because I think I'm going to leave the ears in. Or we can try with and without later on. That's the magic and the beauty of the digital drawing. You can always adjust the things after, change colors, all that stuff. It's harder to change the tone though. So for all the illustrators, beginner illustrators out there, I would say the tone is much more important than the color, really, because our eyes, they read, so to say, read the illustration, yes, by the color, but yes, 100 times more by the tone. Okay, so I like that wavy feel. Actually, this is the way we can make the illustration a little bit more dynamic, since right now it's pretty not dynamic, right? How do you call it? Stable? Like, and she's just standing. But I think she has some dynamic on her face. She's happy. Her eyebrows feel dynamic, in my opinion. And we could also add dynamic by obviously the pose, but in the illustration like this where there is no pose, we can't do that. I know some people always teach that the characters need to be dynamic. It is much more interesting. Absolutely it is, but do not forget and don't break your head. Sometimes you don't need dynamic character. You need a regular pose. Regular pose also has the place to be, to exist. Okay, so far I think I like it, not this. So I'm trying to make sure that the flow is even everywhere. You know what I'm gonna make? I'm gonna reduce the opacity here because it kind of makes me distracted. We don't also want the hair to go probably like that. We want, because it's gonna ruin the flow. Something like this. I don't like that. I mean, I like this part, but then probably we can end it like this. There is like a movement, if you could see it under the hair. It's going to be fun to color it in a sarcastic way. Although I like coloring. And we all know that sometimes coloring is a breeze, it just works out. Same with sketching, and sometimes it doesn't. So see here, I have like a flow going outwards of her hair, of her face. If I just do it here, it's gonna sort of not necessarily ruin everything, but I want it to be the same idea. On the other hand, this is the hair right under her face, right? And we probably need to calm it down here a little bit. That's it. It comes to an end. Let's calm it down. Like, she's definitely going to have hair behind her. However, we're going to put it there. I don't know if I'm going to leave the clothes. I think I might. And now the hardest part for me is the top of her hair, because at some point I would say that that's how it's gonna go, but the original idea would be to extend hair throughout the whole page. So let's think. If we had more hair coming out of there, we're probably gonna come from here maybe? You know, let me start a different layer, since that's gonna be the tricky part for me, and see how it's gonna go from there. Right now I'm thinking that if I'm gonna write a portfolio here, that's gonna be a pretty good idea. I don't know if you agree with me or not. Portfolio wouldn't be that big. but I don't really, I think I want portfolio to be a mix between the bold and script layer. Something like this, maybe, maybe not. Right, because you know why I like this idea? It looks that it was specifically made for that purpose, which shows extra effort and for see, this is not acceptable here because they too fight for the space. So I'm going to make R smaller and T completely different. That's not a final with the letters, but even on the sketch, having things looking how they should be looking is good because I'm definitely going somewhere there. Now F, something like that, like real fast. Okay, not that fast. Portfolio. Okay, now once we've done that, I have an idea that with my portfolio, I want it to be somewhat here, but I don't want it to be like this flat. I think it would be good if we use this tool where I always forget where it is. It's more of a liquify tool. Let's increase the size a little. And I want it to be more of a semi-circle look. You see, like we have it here. I want it the same way here. And yeah, something like this. So what do you think, guys? And I think I will be leaving some part of her body because we could play around with it. We could add like the cute buttons. Where is it? We could add the cute buttons here. Something of a flower here. Now at this point we could make a piece a little bit more complicated by drawing something on top here. I love the botanical illustration, so I think I could add some flowers in there. I don't really think I like to use symbols in my illustrations. I would Google the flowers symbolic, and by the way, the flowers are too big, as we could tell, right? And use the flower that represents me the best. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, so the flower I think I'm gonna go with would be a forget-me-not as far as symbolism goes. Forget-me-nots are often associated with remembrance, friendship, and loyalty. For children's illustrators, they can symbolize the lasting impact of childhood experiences and the cherished memories created through storytelling and imaginative play. Not that anybody would ever know this, but I think it's good for you too. Well, I also like this flowers because they are somewhat simple. I think I like this image. I'm gonna save it as the reference. You can of course use references. It's not that somebody invented the forget-me-nots, and I'm most likely using pictures. It doesn't necessarily mean that I would add specifically this colors. It might be something else. Maybe it definitely it's gonna depend on the color of the hair I'm gonna have. I don't know what that's gonna be. Usually I do all types of hair. I like the red hair. Maybe that's what I'm gonna have here. So now let's recreate it. So I'm thinking first of all, I'm thinking of adding a little bit more of those curly things here. I think it's gonna look really good. And then just make sure, wait, okay, that it looks good here so I could clearly see it. Not too much. Okay, I don't think I might add the earrings, but I think it's gonna make the illustration a little bit heavy, so no earrings for us. Let's go with the flowers. We don't need to be like very anatomically correct here. As you see, it has like, if we try to repeat it, it's gonna have like this centerpiece. It would be nice if I I like biology at school. I really knew all the like the terminology of these things. Obviously, I forgot. And then in between these, they have sort of these connectors. How many does it have? It has 5. I overdid it a bit. Let's call it a stylization. And they are sort of like the bottom part of the petals, right? And the petals are not necessarily even. And this is obviously like a bigger version of a flower. So I could understand better how this flower works. I don't think it looks pretty right now. I like how this came out, so I guess I just need to work on my petals a little better. So, and then we could just copy and paste it. All right, I don't like these, especially that ugly one. So it needs to be more shorter, more playful. And still, since we are using symbolism, we need them to sort of not maybe scream forget-me-nots, but at least have some resemblance, right? Or it doesn't really make sense. But I understand that not everyone, they don't have very distinctive things in the middle, although we might show like some light here and there. Okay, so this is our flower. I would copy it for no reason, make it smaller, and now just by copy and pasting it, copy and pasting it, we could arrange it all over the place, thinking about the best places to put it at, not to make it too much. We need to have some empty places. I'm thinking about maybe 5 of them. So not necessarily like one under the other, but this one kind of wants to go here. Maybe I'll do one on top of her head. I think I like it. And if I do that, then I might move this one a little bit. What am I doing? On top here, okay. Maybe not the best situation yet, but let's look here. Okay, I like these two. I don't like this guy. Where is it? He's here. Nope. Here. Maybe. Why am I always choosing everything wrong at the moment? Maybe here. You know what? I think when I put them a little bit on the top, it kind of makes more sense. Maybe not. So we have like a triangle situation here. Now I think this one could be moved more down. Okay, I like it here. Here, we definitely need to add more. Let's add more. So one could go here. So also try to see that they are not even here, not even here. We don't want that. We want them to be to remind us of the mess, but the pretty mess. Okay, so I think we need to, if we have 3 here, I need to add 4 on this side. Maybe one could be very far away. Oh no, let's do this. I also need to add the contact information, right? Right. Absolutely right. And now might be liking having 2 here, which means that I only have, right now by adding this piece here, it means I have 2 here and 3 here, and I'm happy with it. And in this place, I might add the contact information. So if I'm going to do that, I might need to move this guy a little lower. Just because, so I have more space right here later on. Okay, so this is what we have so far. This is the sketch I've done. I think our hair require some adjustments. So every time I work on the sketch, and I know that I'm going to erase some lines here. For example, I'm sending it to the client. I'm a strong believer that the cleaner your sketch looks, like, the better. The reason why is the clients, they do not have the vision that you do of the final illustration. So you already know that that's okay, that's okay. So here, right away, by erasing those lines, I see that we have a situation here which I don't like. So I have to go back and to the flowers and move them from here to here. I actually might like the idea of flowers extending beyond the hair here, and I might like them be turned a little bit more this way. And so coming back to what I was saying, by doing that, we make it much easier for the clients to understand what actually the illustration is going to look like. This way, it's easier for you because the client is happier. There will be less changes because if the sketch is messy, the client might think one thing and then in reality it's going to be a different thing, and the client can always say, well, I thought it's going to look different just from what the sketch looked like. So my advice strongly would be to send clean sketches to your clients as much as possible. Especially to the clients who just maybe it's their first work with an illustrator, and the clients who are worrying too much because they don't know how that's going to be. It's also a great idea to always explain to your client all the stages. It's actually good to have it in your proposal letter. So like this, it's easier to see how things are going to be in the final illustration. And I could say that I like it. I like the idea of it. I like that we have a special place of a portfolio, and see sometimes the ideas come during the process, and that's amazing. I would, another advice is to try and make sure that you are happy with the sketch and you're not going to change a lot of things later on, simply because it's going to be harder for you to change them later on once you start coloring. And if I remove the hairline, it's going to make it look way much better. And I also know you might be annoyed the whole video by that my face here is a little bit not even. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave the ears in there, and I'll just have to work with the colors. I think I love the combination of maybe some reddish with the bluish. I'm not sure. Let's see. So if I'm going to make her hair this red, because I don't want it to be too bright. And if I do the blue flowers on top, I think I might like how it looks like. And I might leave this area either very bright or white, but that's already for another video. And so this is the detailed explanation of how I work with the sketch. So we have my assistant here. She always comes when it's time to wrap it up. She always knows best. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, maybe suggestions for the future videos, I would be very, very happy to do it with you, since I liked drawing and talking to you very, very much. And yep, that's it. I wish you all the best, and I will be very excited to see all the work that you are going to create for your portfolio cover page.
In the next videos, we'll be correcting our rough sketch and finally coloring the illustration.